TV, the voice of humanity. In whatever position we find ourselves, we must at all material time endeavor to put the collective interest of the youth over and above all other considerations, bearing in mind that if their morality collapses, it will do so with all of us. Nigerian youth, however, has many youth whose ambitions and abilities can contribute to the prosperous, peaceful, and sustainable future of the country. Investing in the youth is an investment for the future. The spirit is always alive at YouTh. In this show, I have here with me Comrade Yusuf from the left and Comrade Muslima Abdullah, which they will speak on girl child education and is better than which they will speak on female education is better than male education. From my left, Jibril Yusuf will oppose the motion, while Comrade Muslima will support the motion that a female education is more better than male education. You're highly welcome to this show.
Thank you.
So I will be your moderator. Before we move further, I would like Comrade Muslima to briefly introduce yourself. Our viewers are so keen to hear about you.
Muslima Abdullahi Muhammad, student of prestigious Ahmed Bello University, while I'm studying law. It is my pleasure being here. Thank you for being with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Comrade, over to you, Comrade Jibril Yusuf. Tell us a little bit about.
Okay, I'm Jibril Yusuf by name. I'm student from FC Zaria, Faculty of English Language. I so appreciate for this invitation.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice having you here. So, Comrade Jibril Yusuf, why do you think the male child education is more better than female child education in Nigeria?
Well, so I'm not here for against any gender. I'm here for debate in which is saying that female education is more important than male education. I think no one can agree with that. Why? Because if you look at the country, you will realize that immediately without more statement about. Let me give you some examples about male education. Through male education, we gain presidents, governor, ministers, and the rest of them. But before we further into this discussion, we have to try to know what are we going to discuss about and in which are we discussing. I think some people misunderstand what is education.
Okay.
So many scholars define education in different ways. So if my memory succeeds well, there is one scholar who said education is the process of receiving or giving instructional information by lecturer or teacher at a school or university. So in this extent, our people are unable to differentiate between knowledge and education. So knowledge is knowledge is the process.
Apology
where-
to cut in. Apology
Okay,
to
sorry,
cut in.
sorry.
You mentioned that the males take the political position like president, ministries, and all that. For
Yes,
the
of
female, on
course.
the other hand, to take the and there's a saying, well-known saying that says what a man can do, a man can also can do even better. I know Comrade Salma will not agree with you. So over to you, Comrade Salma Salma Abdullah.
Okay. Mother is the first teacher to the child. Comrade Ruben, do you think that if there is not more anxiety on education of girls, much of us will be in the room of darkness? To me and to the world at large knows that female education is better is uncomparable with men education for the benefits. As we, the Nigerians, considering education to give you work is not. What you need is your hard work. My brother, don't you think that even with your knowledge, mother, she is one that trained the children, she is one that need the education, while the father, he provide food for the children. Now in Nigeria, with education or without education, if you are depending on your education, like your certificate or something, you will not provide anything for yourself. But you can make a mechanical skill for yourself. But for education to train a man is for women, which are girls, mothers, and wives. And don't you think that if a girl is not educated, overall the world will be scattered? And with the education of women, there is many things that can provide for our country, like economic growth, betterment of mother
apology
health.
to cut in.
Okay, I can hear you.
You mentioned there are something that female will develop the country with. But if you look at the mantle of leadership, the female seems to be unprepared to take the mantle of leadership in the country, starting from ministries and the presidency. For example, this upcoming 2023 election, no female contestant at all. So how do you think?
There's a system of Nigeria. Like
System of
yes, it's the system of Nigeria. Because almost all of men, they prefer world cake, which means money. That's why female don't let them to live that. And if you see the generation of Nigeria, many of people are covered all. That's right.
So over to Kamal Jibril Yusuf, we have had Kamal Muslima talking against them,
Yes, of course.
and supporting female education more than male education. She made mention of parents, starting from parents, they educate the children before they give up. So what will you add to that?
Okay, I think this is the sightness of almost Mrs. Salma about female education. So let me ask you some questions. Can you tell me 3 countries which a female ever led before?
Yes,
Mention, please.
I can say England, Queen Elizabeth from England. One. It's only one I can remember.
Okay, I asked you 3 questions, 3 countries.
Yes, but
So, if you ask me about male, I can mention you even thousands. So, with this, you can realize that male education is better than female education. Why? Because even part of interaction, even Islamically, there is no place that it says female to lead a male. Why? Because even part of what part of brain.
It's nice
If I, let me bring out some motion about during Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never ever went out with female, but male. Why? During
it is nice idea you brought about Islam and
excuse me.
It is part of education. It is part of education.
But don't you know that Nana Khadija radiallahu anha provide a pivotal role in the Islam? Almost all his strength and his courage that he get from her is what makes him what he did. Don't you know that? Because she used her wealth.
to support.
And do you know that all the male that you're saying that are leading, don't you know that at the side are the women that are leading them? if you don't know, you're supposed to
It
go
is,
and
it is nice.
Okay.
It is nice idea as well. Yusuf made mention of Islam and Prophet Muhammad as leadership. But if you look at the topic per se, we are taking our education of females, not that they are female to lead. We are talking of the education. Do you support?
Yes,
They should be given
part of
education, Western
leadership.
education
Without
practices.
education, how can you lead somebody? I think it is impossible. Therefore, if I mention leadership, don't say anything about, because we are talking about education generally, right? So therefore, even our governor, Nasir El-Rufai, many people criticize him in bad way. That's very badly, because you know why? He is educated. Always my parents tell me, try to get knowledge before you get married.
That's nice.
Well, my sister is told, try to able to learn your husband. With this, you can realize that male education is more important than what is called female education.
You have anything now?
Brother,
I have many points if time allow us.
I'm with my too.
Okay.
My brother, you know that women are always being adolescent or always being past adolescent, like I said, that means like if you born with a lady, she will get married and do something better than you before you. Don't you think that with her, she passed your level, she will get married, she will born a baby? Don't you think that if she didn't have that education that you are saying about, many things would not be good, like the generation? Do you know that? And let me tell you something said by the world scholars. You educate a woman, you educate a generation, but if you educate a man, you educate one person. Do you know that?
Okay, let me ask you one question, my dear Salma. Can you tell me that part of performance in education, female are performing than male? Can you tell me that?
Yes, I can tell you.
Why?
You, as you are living in all the education system that you follow, both your secondary school, primary school, and your in tertiary level. Tell the facts, please, between the women and the men who are performing well in the class. Tell the facts.
The fact is,
Yeah.
even we look at our universities, you can find hundreds lecturers male. It is difficult to find out at least 40 lecturers
One may agree that
female.
this is system of Nigeria. One may agree.
But you
It's a
agree
system of
that
Nigeria.
women have sharp brain than males. That's universal true, not me and you, Ollie.
I think it is difficult to believe in that.
But if
Why?
I will ask you,
Okay, I can hear you.
come on, Muslim, you talk about female education and they are more intelligent.
Yes.
Even at school, their performance, they are more powerful, their performance than men. So if I will ask you, can you point any female scientists?
Scientist?
Yeah, female scientists.
I don't know. But there is. I can't forget.
But-
Let me tell you something. The on 2022, when they are going to do out in pharmacology, yes, pharmacist, the first is woman, who is Farida. She collects almost all the gifts that presented there. I won't forget that. And on 2021, this says that they finished Faculty of Law at Ahmed Bello University. The birth there that come with first class is Ruqayya. I do salute her. Mine,
So it is not as I about that, and you said you cannot mention any scientists, female.
Yes, I can.
But on the other hand, commercial use of will boast of having male intellectuals in the field of science like Albert Einstein, Sir Isaac Newton, all the scientists, even the father of computer. And if you look at the first person that landed on the moon, you can see that although they are working on the female solar on the moon in 2024, the next coming up in the next couple of years, it is a male that land on the moon. So how do you think even if female education, even if female were given education, we cannot, I don't think they will, do you think they will overpower the male counterparts?
Let me tell you something. All what they do it for themselves.
Try to against the time before.
They do it to themselves, but their education is just live on them, only them. But if it is women, and don't you know that maybe it's their mother that raised them to do that?
Commander Jibril Yusuf mentioned that he asked you an interesting question, which that you should point out any female president. I would say that as female president in Poland, currently she is female, and even America and the West are working on having more female in the education and what in a political position. And even Saudi Arabia, on the other hand, they are working on having much female on their political positions, high positions in the country. So, do you think, without education, do you think would they be able to do?
Exactly no, but I want you to know something about what we are talking about. If we are talking about the more important education among the society, so I think if a sensible person cannot dare to bring out female, I cannot say that female education is useless. I cannot say that. But it's less than
You think
the male.
the male should be more educated than the female?
Yes,
the
of
female
course.
should be subordinate.
Yes,
to
of
the
course.
male.
Any country, it is said, any country without the contribution of male education, it should be like a car without tire. Will it move or go anywhere?
But come on, almost not the other will agree that they are saying what a man can do, a man can even better.
That is saying of our common people. I cannot agree with that. But usually our people saying that. But at all, it is impossible. Yes, of course.
Don't you look at the Kaduna State government, which they appoint the governor of Kaduna State
Yes.
in 2019?
I cannot.
As his,
Yes. I cannot blame him because he has
and even if
something
you
in
look at
his
some
mind.
ministers in the country, like minister.
Don't forget. Listen. Don't forget. He appointed her as temporary. It is not permanent.
Will you agree with that?
It is not permanent. And even people thought that this governor is so damnable in the society, right? So if he appointed male, our society will not say anything about because it's already familiar. So with this, I want if we are not here to waste our time, we have to try to highlight the reality about
do you
what
think
we
the
are
male
talking about.
should be kept at home, should not be anything, should be subordinate, and the female and the male should continue to be superior?
What I'm talking
them?
about up to now, I'm talking about the more important of education. Male education is more important than female education.
Hello, brother.
No, listen. I'm not here.
You're
I'm not
just
here to
saying what
against.
you want.
I'm not talking.
No, you're just
I'm not
saying
talking
what
to
you
against
want.
any woman.
No, you're just saying what you want. You are
I
not
know.
saying the reality.
I mentioned the reality.
No,
If you
you're not
are
saying the
to
reality.
accept the reality, I want you to try. If we say the truth, accept it. If we say the untruth, try to say it. But if we are talking about education, my sister, don't deceive yourself. I want you Tino, don't say that you will depend your gender.
No,
I'm not
saying
here.
the
I'm not
facts.
here. I'm not here
You know the
to against
facts.
any gender.
And
I told you earlier on. I'm not here to
It's
against any gender.
universal true that female education is much better than male. Let me tell you something. When girl educated, their country become more strong and more prosperous. Have you know that?
Let me die before you. Keep on.
Like, if women educated and given more concern on their education, there will be many things that can be influenced here of many factors like basic needs empowerment, one, low high death rate, more learned life expectancy. Do you know that? Do you know that?
Keep on. I know that.
Okay, don't say that.
If
all
you die,
need to say,
if
let me
you die,
tell
I
you
have some
something.
questions.
Okay, I can hear you. You see the developed country, they give women opportunities. Women are those that are getting more employment and they are seeking for opportunities and they give them. And you see, the country is developed. But here we are living in undeveloped country, which is Nigeria.
Well, so it seems that our viewers will seem to hear it as a naked slap and a very egregious slap to say that Nigeria is still undeveloped because Nigeria is leave female behind. If you mention that, so why can't you just a little bit sack your word that Nigeria is undeveloped and so that you can feel more proud and more zeal to many Nigerian youth?
The males that are leading us now, what did they do to us? See how the country is becoming. The country that there is no security. Insecurity is rampant everywhere. The country that you cannot transport in peace, but in pieces. Man, to tell, to say, or to not say. The bay is seen. The difference is clear.
So now,
that
apology to cut in. Will you further but against the fact that what a man can do, a man can do even better?
Yes.
And if you can,
yes. I'm behind any successful man, there is woman.
So it
without women, the men that are saying today they will not be saying
it seems
that.
they are unprepared to take the mantle of leadership in the entire country, starting from our ward, from council, from even the representative from the Senate. No woman in the country. I don't think there's any woman that
they did not give us chance. That's why. But you know that there is workaholic women in Nigeria.
So when I come and did you really use of okay. You have had Muslim further buttressing the fact that what a man can do even better.
As I said earlier on,
able to take the mantle of leadership to solve the problem of insecurity and everything.
As I said earlier on, it is impossible.
But don't say it on the religion. Let me tell you something. Don't say it on the religion. Because in the religion, yes, I know that there is the hadith that say if woman do lead it will not be good. Yes.
Okay.
That I'll not disbelieve the hadith. But you know, on the daily basis of needs that we are having now, that nowadays women are more even workaholic than the men. I know that.
So you made mention that you believe you will not disagree with the hadith, but if you look at the present society, you need more illustrious female to enter into political organization, into political office, into the country.
Yes,
to compete with the men.
We have to try to be side at time, because I don't want we to exhaust our time on irrelevant things. So allow me to die because I allow you to enjoy time before me. So now, Mrs. Salma, I come to you. You say it, or you talk about development. What is the essence of education in the society?
The essence of education in the society is when there is educated woman, many things can be low and without ending in the country. If there is more educated women, I can hear you.
I directed you to a way, but you avoided to another way. What I'm talking about, what I'm asking you, it is not what you are answering. Mrs. Salma, if we are talking about education, the essence of education is to evaluate.
Yes,
is to evaluate. If you are educated, you are expected to be educating some people.
Yes.
Different places.
Yes, of course.
So
listen. Let me tell you something. That you say to evaluate. Means even the educated, they are not evaluating everyone.
Okay. Mrs. Salma. Okay. Any woman is known at home. Well, men known at interaction with different people anywhere outside. So if a woman is educated, how can she go outside to educate other people? If a person is educated, he will travel even to abroad to go and educate other people.
Let me tell you, children or people or family are the first society. Do you think uneducated woman can educate the society? Family is the first unit of society. Don't you think that every person start living with his mother before going to every way that you're saying? Family, no. Let me tell you something. No, it's not my saying.
This is your saying.
It's universal.
I want you to highlight the reality about what we are discussing.
Let me ask you a question.
Aye.
Who started showing you how to do abolition in world? Tell the fact.
My father.
Tell the fact.
My father at
Tell the
first.
fact.
My father at
Tell
first.
the fact.
My father.
It's
But,
agree.
My father.
It will be very
Excuse
difficult
me, question to you, sir.
it will be very difficult for our viewers to agree that it is your father. It is your father for start here.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Let me ask you a question.
When I grew up, my mom already died.
Oh.
That is why I told you.
Yeah, sorry. That's
but
why.
one may I-
No.
But
My sister, I have different sisters. I have different sisters. Now they are educated, but they are unable to go outside. They are married. They are married.
They educated their children, and family is the first unit of the society.
So when we mentioned that you were taught by your father,
And
Yes, of course.
many will find it difficult to agree with you because they will say it happened as a result of something that happened to you, not just mere what is happening in the society. Because what we know is that mother teaches her children since from childhood, since from infancy.
No, some.
But
Why?
your case is quite different. It will be very difficult for our viewers to agree to. So it is a very nice idea.
Listen
So
to me for a
time is
time.
approaching. I would like to.
I believe in that. That is why I
Time
wanted
is-
to use with the time before time against
Use
us.
time factor. I would like this. I would like you to. I will just have to give you a little minute to conclude your statement.
Okay. Thank you, Winnie.
2 minutes to conclude your statement.
Okay. So, my dear sister, this what we are talking about is obviously obvious for anybody to know the reality about what we are talking about. But up to now, you are in darkness. You unable to realize the reality about what.
You
Okay,
make
okay.
me funny saying that
Maybe you are debating your agenda, but I'm not here for debate any
I'm
gender.
saying I'm a lawyer.
I'm not here
making.
for.
I
I'm not here for
I
any
can't do bias.
discrimination.
I'm not doing bias. This is not ecosystem.
Okay, allow
Let
me to
tell you
die.
the
I
facts.
have many points to tell you if you
Due to
allow
the
me.
fact that, conclude your word.
Conclude
I'm
your
going to
statement.
conclude mine too. Warrior, please.
Okay. My dear sister, don't you know that your father takes your responsibility about education?
He did.
If he didn't perform education, how can he know the value, the valuation of that education up to able to pay your school fees?
But my
I
father
think
is only his
be,
family.
it should be very hardest.
So over to you, Mayor.
That is why
Over
our
to you, Comrade
fathers.
factor. We thank you, Comrade. So now over to you, Ms.
Female
Comrade
education
Salma.
is the must. Without female education, our generation will be not sustainable in making the future. The female education. Women are always there for parent and the family. If you educate her, she's there always for you and your family, and she will help you. But if man educated, he will start thinking of marry, he will start thinking of another lady. But
So,
if a man educated, she'll help her family all the while. But if man educated, he will just help his family. He will not. No one expect his wife and children. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Comrade Jibril Yusuf from my
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It is my pleasure.
Thank you, Comrade Salma Abdullah. This is YouTh, the voice of humanity. The spirit is always alive. We thank you, our viewers, for being with us. You should be the judge whether a girl child education is more better or whether a male child education is more better. You should be the judge. Thank you for being with us. This is YouTh, the voice of humanity. My name is Didi Abdullah, and I say stay with us all the time. Thank you.